Sure, I'm ready. Okay, I think I'm ready. I think I am. All right, here we go. Boom. Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars.
Whee!
I'm Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello.
Hello. Hi.
We were going to have Rick on, but he is... no, he just sent a message, Scott. You should see it. Let me show you what he said.
He said, hell no, you guys are too wild.
Nope, he said that he walked in and the wife had to unplug the dryer because it stopped working. So now he's got to figure out what to do with the dryer. This is the picture he sent.
She pressed the reset?
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to have to figure all that out, I guess.
God, these women keep touching shit.
No, if they just not do anything, jeez. All right. Stop that.
Come on, let's go. I'm hungry.
I'm working on it. Jeez.
All
right. So, well, you're going to be here a while. We got 3 episodes to go through.
Bitch, let's go.
Let's go. All right. So today we're reviewing Star Wars: The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 15, which is called The Summit. The what's his name? Summit.
Oh,
Governor Tarkin, Admiral Tarkin.
I
his
thought it was
summit.
A summit because it was kind of on a mountain, in a cave.
No. It's just a getting together of people. But yeah, I mean, that's true too. All right, so we don't have any news today, so we're not going to do that. But I'm going to push this button just the news because I can. Then we push this one. That means we're going to talk about the episode, and you're going to be spoiled. So go watch it if you have it. The director of this episode was Nate Vllanueva. Writer was Matt Michnovetz. He was also the story editor, and of course, the music was scored by Kevin Kinner, who has done all the music for Bad Batch. In the cast, we had, of course, our Clone Force 99 and Barton Coburn, which is one of the guys at the table, was all done by D. Bradley Baker. Dr. Royce Hemlock was done by Jimmi Simpson. Governor Tarkin and one of those shock troopers that had the blue visor was done by Stephen Stanton. We had Emerie Karr in this episode by Keisha Castle-Hughes. There was a fighter pilot. Andy Allo was one of the guys. Hurst Romodi was at the table. He was done by Andy DeLortour. There's an Imperial technician. And Saw de Gerrera were both voiced by Andrew Kishino. Lieutenant Maylur, who was at the table, and a Stormtrooper were both voiced by Alain. We had Orson Krennic there, which that's one of the first times we've seen him in animated. And the guy who played him in the movies was the voice actor. It was Ben Mendelsohn. And of course, this episode we had Phee Genoa. Who was that? Wanda Sykes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was she was foreshadowing what was going to happen in the next episode. And because of that, we're going to play a commercial so we can not think about it.
Hey, you over there. Are you a trooper? Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean it? Did Rebel Scum scratch and damage it? Does your helmet communications keep acting up? Stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium before 1500 hours. We will wash, clean, and sanitize your armor for the next day pickup. Our patented galactically ancient
1500 hours. That's 3 p.m.
will have your armor sparkling just like a new Cerealian Y1300 freighter just off the assembly line. You will be the envy of all your friends and coworkers, from the castles on Lothal to the politicians on Coruscant to the environmentalists on Endor. For your next day service, stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. We are located in Tatooine's Mos Eisley Space, directly across from Hangar 35. We will also repair and sell most parts at the best rates in the known galaxy. All services guaranteed and licensed by the Emperor himself to last a lifetime. Only at Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. Imperial credits only. Helmets and boots services are extra.
Extra. Yeah, so like that's right across from Pelly's. Aaron's is right across the street. Okay, so again, it's Bad Batch season.
Work in that corner.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty busy corner. We've got Juan's Cantina over there. We've got Aaron's. We've got
she's right in the right place for Taco Tuesday.
Some little shop that sells dome armor, and we've got Pelly's right there. All right, so Bad Batch season 2, episode 15, The Summit. Originally aired on March 29th. Was only 28 minutes long. So what that means is it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Yay, we're there. We're in it. So episode starts off on Pabu. Tech is briefing the rest of the Bad Batch about the search through the Republic and Imperial files for information about the Advanced Science Division. His search has yielded information about Crosshair's location, and Dr. Royce Hemlock. Also, Echo informs the rest of the clones that Hemlock was scheduled to attend a conference at Governor Wilhelm Tarkin's compound on Idaru in 2 rotations, which I don't know if that's days or what. Echo proposes planting a homing beacon on Hemlock's ship and using it to find Hemlock's base and Crosshair's location. Of course, Hunter is skeptical about anything they plan, so he thinks they'll be at a tactical disadvantage. But Tech says Crosshair is their brother, while Omega says Crosshair is their brother also. So they're all in agreement. Wrecker is supportive, so Hunter has no choice but to support it also. He asks for reinforcements from Echo, and Echo says that Rex is on a mission and says that their team is sufficient enough to get in and out without alerting Imperials. So they're going to be a small, tight team, and they're going to be overmanned or something, undermanned. Hunter agrees to everything, but before leaving, Omega tells Phee that she and the other clones are going on a covert mission. Phee says expects details when they return before speaking with Tech, remarking that the Bad Batch is planning to leave without him saying goodbye to her. What?
Hey! I think she has a thing for Tech.
I think so too.
I think there's something there, and he can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think he thinks there's something there too. He just doesn't know how to navigate it. He's never,
Need to
done
let
that
her
stuff.
touch her in her bad batch.
He's only been playing with boys before. He's never played with a girl.
He needs to let her touch him in his bad batch.
Genoa counsels Tech to not get involved with any pirates or mercenaries. She hints that she has feelings for Tech as Tech walks away. Tech walks up the ramp of the Marauder, and he looks back for a second, and then he fires up the engines of the Marauder. Meanwhile, Hemlock's Imperial light cruiser arrives above the cloudy planet of Idra. Hemlock descends to the mountainside compound in an in-class attacks transport shuttle. Upon landing, he is greeted by a pair of shock troopers who escort him to the meeting with Governor Tarkin. He is joined with several other Imperial officers. When Tarkin remarks that Hemlock is late, the scientist replies that there was matters that required his attention. While traveling through hyperspace, Tech tells the fellow clones that he has identified a suitable location to land on Idra outside of sensor range. Hunter then asks how they will bypass the Imperial cruisers above, and Echo tells them that he has a clearance code that he and Rex acquired from one of their contacts. Wrecker thanks Echo for the support as they exit hyperspace. Hunter asks Wrecker to man the tail gun as a backup in case their plan doesn't work. It does, and they get clearance for landing on with a vessel name of 1143. Okay, so they're getting the Marauder sends. They land in the outskirts of the base, and the Bad Batch walk into the forest when Omega asks, "What? Why are they making a sidewind breach?" With Tech adds, "Worked on Raxus." Echo responds that approach won't work here because the Empire has revised security protocols following their earlier heists. Hunter warns Wrecker not to use tanks and explosives for this mission because they don't want a bunch of attention. They approach a sensor near the rail that leads to Tarkin's mountainside camp. Echo and the Bad Batch study the compound fortifications from afar. Echo notes that the compound is heavily fortified, but they could infiltrate the facility from the rail line. The tech says that he can detect the sensor platform and turn it off for about 30 seconds so that they can board the rail car. But warns they have to be exactly precise. Tech uses the grappling cable to reach the sensor platform, and he opens the control panel and temporarily disables the sensor, which causes Imperial technicians to detect the malfunction in sensor 38-11. The lieutenant orders his men to recycle the feed. With the sensors down, the Bad Batch use the grappling cables to hitch to a ride to the carriage. Meanwhile, the Imperial officers order his technicians to run a system diagnostic. While riding the carriage, Wrecker avoids looking down due to his fear of heights. After reaching the compound, the Bad Batch take out 3 stormtroopers and sentries who fall over the balcony. Yeah, so it needs to be said there that they used their grappling hooks to connect, but they never went inside the car. They just stood out. They stayed outside. Now we're going inside Tarkin's conference room, and Hurst Romodi is advocating that a phased, widespread deployment of stormtroopers are needed to ensure a secure military presence across all sectors. And Tarkin disagrees. He advocates a comprehensive strategy for galactic unification to deter dissent and rampant in self-interest. Tarkin then questions Hemlock about his progress at the Advanced Sciences Division and how he's going with the cloning. And Hemlock claims their cloning advances are interest to the Emperor and he hopes to unlock the Commonian secrets in order to create an enlightened society using their advanced technology and molecular alterations. Tarkin asks how long it will take to express his concern about the amount of funding that Hemlock's requested. And that's when Hemlock replies that science cannot be rushed and says that he has found a new purpose for the decommissioned clone troopers, whom he describes as test subjects. So he's going to start poking and prodding them and stuff. When Romodi asks if the clones have consented to the experiments, Hemlock counters that the clones are Imperial property and that consent is not required. Romodi warns that there are many in the Imperial Senate fighting for clone rights, and that the news of secret experiments could hurt their cause. Hemlock responds that the location and operations under his purview are far from the eyes and ears of the Senate and other parties. That's when Barton Coburn warns Hemlock that the clones are cunning and loyal warriors and questions the willingness of his peers to cast them aside. So they don't think that they're going to get very many clones. Tarkin counters that he found clones to be unpredictable and criticizes the Jedi for fostering a concerning level of individuality. So the Jedi encouraged them to be individuals, and the Tarkin and the Empire don't like that. Coburn asks what would happen if the clones learn what's about to happen and take arms against the Empire. Hemlock acknowledges that some already have, while Tarkin adds that the Empire will take swift and unilateral action against the clone uprising. Tarkin then asks Orson Krennic about Project Stardust, which is the project we heard about in Rogue One, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And Krennic begins babbling on, and we immediately switch to the Bad Batch making their way through the hangar bay. When Omega asks which ship belongs to Hemlock, Echo explains that they need to access the manifest from the control room first to find out. Hunter tasks Tech and Echo with accompanying him and Omega and Wrecker with planting the homing beacon. Hunter and his team fight their way into the control room, stunning two stormtroopers. Back in the hangar, Omega and Wrecker receive news from Tech that Hemlock's shuttle is in docking lane 4. Omega eagerly sets out on the mission and uses a cargo sled as cover. She kind of follows the sled while the stormtroopers are moving them around. While evading the stormtroopers and sentries, she plants the homing beacon on the shuttle's landing struts. Wrecker warns Omega that more stormtroopers are headed her way. And Omega becomes pinned down. She can't get out. Echo creates a diversion by using a magnetic crane to lift a parked V-wing starfighter and slams it against several cargo boxes. This distracts all the guards and allows Omega an opening to escape. She is detected, though, by a mouse droid. The mouse droid. But Wrecker smashes the droid with his foot. Bang. Crushes the thing. In the control room, the technicians inform his lieutenant about the crane malfunction in the hangar and offline surveillance systems in Sector 4. That's not the sector that the Bad Batch is in. The lieutenant dispatches a squad to secure the rail line. Because, it was breached. Meanwhile, Hunter and Tech discover another deactivated quadrant of the compound surveillance system. Tech feels uncomfortable and decides it's time to leave. However, Hunter discovers an active thermal explosive and realizes that someone is targeting Tarkin's base. Who's doing that? Tech adds that one charge will not destroy the base, and the clones are then surprised by Saw Gerrera. Where'd he come from? And a fellow partisan who has infiltrated Tarkin's base disguised as stormtroopers. Saw Gerrera notices the Bad Batch have made a choice since they last met on Onderon. So they've chosen to fight against the Empire. When Hunter asks what his plan is, Gerrera tells the clones about his plan to destroy the base and all the Imperial officers inside. Hunter tells Saw Gerrera not to proceed with the plan since his group is tracking an Imperial officer in order to rescue imprisoned clone troopers. And Saw Gerrera is reluctant to call off the operation since he is waging his own war against the Empire. Saw Gerrera doesn't really follow anybody else but himself, it seems like.
No.
Tech asks him to consider the implications of wiping out any chance of gathering intelligence that could aid his cause. Gerrera counters that the assassination of several top Imperial commanders would be very beneficial. And Tech counters that is a short-term victory since the ranks will easily be replenished. And Saw responds that sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. One of Gerrera's companion warns that they have to leave since the security team has been alerted. The two parties are attacked by stormtrooper sentries, but shoot one of their attackers before retreating down the corridor. To aid their escape, they damage pipes which release smoke and electrocute the pursuers with the electromagnetic pulse grenade, which is Scott's favorite. That's the one that goes bzzz, and they get shocked. Yeah. Tech also uses a stormtrooper as a shield while shooting at it while they shoot at their comrades. Hunter warns other clones that they have been compromised and to head back to the rail line. Saw Gerrera's female companion is wounded during the gunfight, disguised as some stormtroopers. He helps her to the shuttle. He is determined to reach the shuttle before the Imperials find and deactivate the explosives. The lieutenant informs Tarkin that the other Imperial officers that the insurgents have disguised themselves as troopers and have infiltrated the compound. Tarkin orders that all communications be switched to encoded channels and tasks the stormtroopers with finding the intruders. He also orders the conference room to be sealed and reassures the officers they will be safe. And we see all those windows go down and the room all locks down, and he's like, see, we're going to be safe. Saw Gerrera, yeah, they're going to be fine. Saw Gerrera and his comrades sneak past stormtroopers while Hunter and Tech are chased by multiple other stormtroopers. They are joined by Echo and Wrecker and Omega, who eliminate several of the pursuers. They take out more pursuers with a stun gun grenade before fleeing onto the rail car. The Bad Batch take up position inside the rail car while Tech overrides the manual controls. They ride their stolen car out of the compound. Meanwhile, Saw Gerrera joins another group of disguised partisans and they fight their way into the hangar. They take out stormtroopers with stun grenades before fleeing aboard a stolen shuttle. A battery cannon tries to shoot their shuttle down, but is unsuccessful. Saw Gerrera activates his thermal explosives remotely, pushes the button, and it causes extensive damage to Raven's Peak, which is what Tarkin's summit's called, is Raven's Peak, particularly the hangar. However, the conference chamber is protected, and Tarkin and the other Imperial officers survive the blast. Dang it. The explosions cause the rail line to lose power. Meanwhile, the Bad Batch fight several stormtroopers stationed on their stolen rail car. The rail car stops in midair, and a second rail car hangs on the other side. Tech remarks that this is going to be a problem. Yeah, so one of the cars fell off the rail, and it's connected to their car, and he thinks it's going to pull him down, and that's when the credits come up.
I don't think it fell off the rail.
It's not connected on the rail at the end of the episode, is it?
Didn't you see the electric thing come across the rail and it just stopped it?
Yeah, I know. I think it says here that the explosion causes the rail line to lose power. They fired several stormtroopers, and the rail car stops in midair. A second car hangs on the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's hanging. Tech remarks that this is going to be a problem. I don't know. This is going to be a problem. What are we going to do? So that brings up my question of the week, which is not related to what we just said, but what do you think? Will this will it be a clone uprising? And do you think Tarkin will be able to execute that swift action against him? You think the clones are going to uprise and try to fight the Empire? I think so, because
if the word gets out.
Well, I yeah, and I think also we have to remember, in the movie New Hope, there's no talk about clones. There's no clones really anywhere, right? They're all pretty much gone. So either they're
by then.
Yeah, so either by then they're all wiped out somehow by maybe Tarkin taking this swift action against them. Something, I don't know. It could be also because we know there is a few clones left that we see in the Rebels TV show. The Rex is there, and I think a couple other guys are there. But they're like the last clone troopers that we have ever seen. In this timeline, I think, because those guys were found after Return of the Jedi. Those clones, Rex, and they lived out in the middle of the desert in their little machine or whatever they were living in. So let's go on from there. That's our question. We want to do this. Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback, KyleJohansson.us. That's right. So you can send us email feedback to that address, feedback at KyleJohansson.us. We also have a link on the left-hand side of the website. Over there, that will give you a form to fill out. You just submit it and it'll go to us. We'll have the question of the week up on the site too, on the left side. And once you answer the question and submit that, there'll be an option to leave a comment. You can comment on your question or anything about the episode. We're also on Twitter at super_duper_pod. You can send us a message there. And of course, on YouTube and Spotify, we have videos, and both of those now allow comments on the videos and audios. When we have everything from this Bad Batch and Mandalorian are on video on Spotify, and of course, every video we've done is on YouTube. So we need your feedback because Scott's red sweatshirt is driving us is up there. So we both know there's something coming up in the next episode. So we're trying not to say anything about it. But can you think of anything else you want to talk about on this episode?
No.
Because there's some big stuff coming, and then it's hard to focus on this episode at all because of what's coming.
Sid's stupid.
Yep, Sid.
Fucking traitor.
Sid causes problems, and I mean, we knew that was going to happen, but there's all kinds of fun stuff going on in the next episode. So let's go ahead and end this episode, so we can start the next one. Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now. Goodbye.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, what? Oh, goodbye.
Hello.
No. I can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, so that's the end of the episode.